Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've been wanting to do this for a few weeks now because I've seen people talk about 26 most anticipated or have to get to books for 2026. So I've compiled my own list of 26 books that I want to read in 2026. I try to stay away from anything that's a part of a series. However, there are some that are a part of a duology, or the first book has been released and I don't know if it's going to be another duology or a continuation of a series. I try to have it be a standalone, but some will sneak in there that are not a standalone. So I just wanted to put that little disclaimer out for ya. I also try to put on this list anticipated reads, but majority I believe are ones that I own and need to get to. You can't see my full bookshelf. I am completely overwhelmed with the amount of books that I need to read, but I can't put a lot of pressure on myself because I did that last year and we all know what happened last year. And this also is the year that I want to dive more into fantasy books. I just get a nice thrill whenever I'm reading a good fantasy book, so I try to put a lot on this list. Another genre that I don't really dive into much of is just pure fiction. There's so many new fiction books that I heard are really good, so I want to dive deeper into that genre as well. I also don't know if I should add 2 more books to this list because I have read 2 of my January reads for this month. So I'll tell you what they are, and then maybe since I already read them, I can add new, but then I feel like that's 28, so maybe I won't. Anyways, maybe I should have done this by genre. Now that I'm thinking about it, that would make more sense. Okay, we're doing it by genre. The first genre that I want to talk about is fantasy. This is a genre that I'm so excited for because I want to read many fantasy books in 2026. The first one that I have is Night in the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I have this and I'm so excited to read this. I love Rachel Gillig. I loved One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. It was such an amazing gothic fantasy, and the characters, I just like them. Elm literally lit my life up. I love him so much. So I do want to read that book because I know that the second book is coming out soon. This is what I'm talking about. The ones that have a duology or is a part of a series. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a duology. Next on my list is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I don't know much about this book. I know there's dragons involved. This is another book that is going to have the second book, I think, released this year. So I do want to get to it. Everyone was talking about it and was saying that it was really good. So I'm adding it to this list. The next one on my list is Immortal Dark by Tigist Gurma. I bought this book a while ago and I already know that the second book has been released in, again, I don't know if it's a duology or a series, but I hear it's really good. It's vampires. Say less. I just love the cover. It's just so beautiful. It was one of the ones that I saw and I'm like, I need to have you. Even like the sprayed edges. I'm not a sprayed edges girl. This is good. So I need to read that because I do hear the second one is really good as well. The next in the fantasy genre that I want to read is Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. This is also a duology. It's not a standalone. That's unfortunate, but I do really want to read it. I've had it for a while and I have the second book. It's like a problem of mine that when I hear that there's a second book, I still buy the second book even though I haven't even read the first one. I don't know why. I don't. But I do want to read that soon. All I know about this book is the female main character is a witch and the main male character is a witch hunter. The next one on my list is Bury Our Bones in Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. It's the same author that wrote The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. When I heard great things about Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, I had to get it because it was like on everyone's 6-star reads. I don't think I heard one bad thing about that book, so I bought it. I don't know much about it. I think it's about vampires. That's all I know. And like I said, say less when it comes to vampires because I'll read anything that has to do with vampires. The next one is Direbound by Sable Sorensen. I'm really looking forward to this book right here. I don't know why I'm so excited to read it. I've heard so many mixed reviews about it. I've heard it's kind of like Fourth Wing, but with werewolves instead of dragons. I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. However, I'm kind of iffy with Fourth Wing. I do need to go back and read Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. I never finished Iron Flame. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, I think it might just be because I love the cover of the book so much. Like, it's so pretty. The next one on my list is The Female by Envy Wright. I saw one person that I follow on TikTok recommend this book, and I put it on my list because I think that I would like this book because she liked it. We have very common interests when it comes to books, so I put it on my list. I don't know anything about it, but I'm looking forward to it. The next one in the fantasy category is one that I think I am very not only scared to read, but also excited. And I'm talking about Alchemized. I never got around to reading Manacled. I know the storyline. I know it has to do with like the Harry Potter universe and if Voldemort won. Because it was getting published, obviously with copyright issues, she had to change things around, and that is what Alchemized is. It's not obviously Harry Potter anymore. I'm guessing along the same storyline. I don't know. But it is over 1,000 pages. And that's why I'm scared. So that is on my list because people are crying on the internet reading this book. They say that it's left them with an empty hole in their heart, in their soul, that they don't think any book would ever be able to fill again. That's another thing that terrifies me is who will I be after I read Alchemized? Will I still be Hannah or will I be changed Hannah? Will I ever be able to get old Hannah back? It freaks me out. And the next one is Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. She's an author that I hear great things about. Dark, gothic. I think this one has to do with academia vibes, if I'm not mistaken. I just know that I vibe well with gothic fantasy, so the fact that I haven't read Nocticadia by this point kind of shocks me. Nonetheless, I will be reading it in 2026. The next one is Quicksilver by Kaylee Hart. This one kind of freaked me out to buy because I heard so many mixed reviews on. I bought it when it was still the indie cover, and then it changed to hardcover, and it's different, and then the second book matches the published hardcover one, so then I'm like, okay, if I do read the second book, it's not going to match the first book, and I just kind of go into a deep dark hole when I think about that. However, that shouldn't let it faze me. But I am scared because, again, so many mixed reviews. People that I follow either hated it or loved it. And I'm like, okay, I agree with both of your tastes when it comes to books, so I really don't know if I'll either like it or hate it. The last one that's a part of my fantasy genre is Babel by K.F. Kwong. I've had it on my Kindle for a while. When there was a deal going on for Kindle books last year or 2 years ago, I bought it for like 20 cents. I've been wanting to read it for a while. I'm trying to broaden my genres, but also two authors that I read. I think she's also the same author that wrote The Poppy Wars, and I've been wanting to read that series as well. So if I like her writing style, maybe I will read The Poppy Wars. The next genre that we're going to talk about is contemporary romance. Daydream by Hannah Grace. I bought this before it came out because for some reason my Barnes & Noble had it before its release date, so I bought it. Was so excited to read it because I love Henry and I was so excited for his storyline, and then I just never picked it up. I fell out of wanting to read contemporary romance for a long time. I was disappointed with the first two in the series. It's the the icebreaker one. Wildfire, I think, is the second one, and then Daydream is the third. I don't know much about it. I just know that it was like Taylor Swift coded, and like I said, I really liked Henry. I was excited for his book, so I do want to get to it at some point this year. The two that I have next are the ones that I've read in January. The first one is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. It's just such a fun, easy read with werewolves and just paranormal fantasy fun. I ate it up. I love the storyline. It was so good. I finished it in less than 24 hours. I think it was all around a good vibe. Now, if you're going into it for, this is great literature, I wouldn't go in with that expectation. No, I wouldn't. But it's a fun little storyline that will get you going, get you excited for the year. I enjoyed it. The next one that is the one that I also read was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This one was a big disappointment because I do love Ali Hazelwood's books. This is my least favorite of hers. I didn't get a connection with any of the characters and I just didn't really vibe with them. It felt too rushed, and one of the side characters that was introduced to this book I felt like was the main character for how much she was brought up in the book. Like, I thought it was going to be a throuple with this, romance that was going on because of Scarlett is the female main character. She's a diver for Stanford, and then you have Lucas. He's like an Olympic swimmer also for Stanford. Then there's this other chick. She's the ex to Lucas while also being on the diving team with Scarlett. I kid you not, she was mentioned the whole entire book. Like, I felt the plot was just going to be about this girl. And I'm like, why is this side character being mentioned so much? It just it irked me a little bit. The next one on the list is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. Everyone was talking about this one on TikTok in the fall. And last year, I just didn't want to really read anything. I love the fall. I love reading fall books in the fall. I just did not get around to, one, buying it, but also wanting to read contemporary romance or just wanting to read in general. So I do want to read it for this year, and I'm saving it obviously for the fall. The next one is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. This one I get mixed reviews about, but mostly the overall review for it is that it's severely emotionally damaging. I don't know how to feel about that, so I'm just going in with a full heart and it doesn't break by the end of it. Another romance that I have on my list is Older by Jennifer Hartman. I'm gonna be honest, I just liked the cover. I really did. I enjoyed the cover. I don't know anything about it. I'm guessing she's gonna date an older man, I'm assuming, or it's a man that's going to date an older woman. That's me trying to do my best of trying to figure out what it is just purely based on the title. The next one for romance is Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. This is one of my most anticipated reads for 2026 because I really like Carly Fortune. She's an author that gets mixed reviews. I'm super critical when it comes to contemporary romances. I don't know why. I put it at a higher regard for some reason because I think that's just what got me into reading. So I hold it higher than most genres because I'm used to reading it. That was like my main genre. That was my main hoe for many years. So when I found out that Carly Fortune was going to have another book, I was really excited because I loved One Golden Summer. I read it last year and it was just a perfect read. It got me out of a reading slump, granted only for a month, but when I was reading that book, I felt joy. Deeper storyline with Charlie, who is the older brother in Every Summer After, which is her first book that she wrote. I don't know what Our Perfect Storm is going to be about, but you know I'm going to be buying it. The next romance one is Game On by Nevessa Allen. She's a dark romance author, and I have mixed feelings about her and her writing style and the books that she's pushed out. The first one that I read from her was obviously Lights Out because that was her first book in this series, and I listened to it as an audiobook. I think if I read it as a physical book, I wouldn't have loved it as much. It's a funny introduction to dark romance. It's still dark, but it's funny, and it's weird that you think a dark romance can be funny. I loved the MMC in that book, Josh. Then Caught Up came out, and so I was excited for that. I listened to that also as an audiobook. I did not like it at all. I didn't like the MMC. I did not like the FMC. I didn't even like the side characters. I pushed through it as best that I could, and it really infuriated me that I even finished the book. So this third book, we'll see. I'm not gonna buy it. Like I said, I'll listen to it as an audiobook because it seems like that's the way to go. The MMC is the roommate to Josh in the first book. I'm blanking on that guy's name. The next one on my list is The Conditions of Will by Justice Hastings. I don't know anything about this book. I'm so excited to go into almost all of these books completely blind. I think knowing anything about them really spoils the book because there was one review I was watching of this girl talk about a book that I wanted to read, and she literally was talking about a major plot line, and I was like, and like scrolled. And I just feel like people don't know how to summarize books anymore without giving anything away. And it goes for tropes. Like when they talk about tropes, it gives things away. If I see a bunch of people recommend the same book, then will I buy it? But if somebody gives a spoiler away, then I'm like, I'm not gonna read it. The last one I want to talk about in the contemporary romance category is Beg, Borrowed, and Steal by Sarah Adams. I read Practice Makes Perfect, and I really did like that book. I thought it was cute. I didn't read When in Rome? I think that's the first book that's connected to Practice Makes Perfect. I didn't read that one because it didn't sound appealing to me, but Practice Make Perfect was really cute. I enjoyed it, so I want to go in and read Beg, Borrowed, and Steal. Sorry, I should have done this by genre, but I just wrote down the books that I wanted to read and just said, here, damn, take it as you will. I didn't put that many fictional books on here, like strictly fictional. So there won't be that many in this genre. But like I said, there's going to be new releases. There's going to be ones that I want to buy. There's going to be more. The first one that I want to talk about is Beartown by Frederick Backman. I went to the Portland bookstore. I think it's Powell Books. I was so severely overwhelmed. I forgot I had only been there once before. I was so overwhelmed. There's so many different levels. There's so many different books. There's different sections. I tried to find like a corner just for a little bit that didn't have anyone, and I couldn't find a single corner in that whole place where not one person was. There were 2 or 3 books that I bought there, and so one of them is Beartown by Frederick Backman. He is an author that I hear great things about. Beautifully written books. Following the same lines with the same author, My Friends is another one of his books. I've been putting off buying it, so I do want to get around to reading that book as well because I hear it's also a really great book. The next book I want to talk about in the fiction category is The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Really bad with names, hopefully that's correct. It's another book that I don't know much about. All I know is that a woman goes to a hotel. At this hotel, there's a wedding that's going to take place, like runs into the bride and talks with her, and they share secrets or something like that. I could be totally botching that. My friend bought it for me because I've been talking about this book for a while, and I'm just like, I don't know if I should read it. I don't know if I should pull the trigger. And she's just like, here, and just bought it for me. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. That's so sweet. So I have it now, and I want to read it for 2026. The next one is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I also bought this in Oregon when I was doing a road trip with my family. We went to Cannon Beach, and in the little town of Cannon Beach, there's a bookstore, and I bought it there. And I've heard such great things. I had 2 people stop me when I was walking around the town with the book because I didn't get a bag or anything. 2 people stopped me and said that it was such a phenomenal book and that they were excited for me to read it. If that doesn't tell you that it's such an amazing book, and it both was like, one was an older woman and one was a man. So like different perspectives, different like age ranges too. It made me excited to read it. Also, I found out that it was a TV show, and my mom and my brother had watched it at some point a few years ago, and they both enjoyed it. So once I read that book, I will be watching the TV show. The last one on my list is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I'm pretty sure when people describe it, it is dark academia, but other than that, I don't know anything that takes place in this book. Those are all of the books. I mean, not all of them, because I know I'm going to be reading books and buying books, new books, this year. But I really, really, really want to focus on these books. Maybe we'll sprinkle a nonfiction book here and there with 2026, but also some just new fiction books. I do want to dive more deep into fiction books. I also realized that Kristen Hanna is not on my list for books that I want to read in 2026. Like, there's not a single book. I swear I thought I put The Nightingale on here. Even though I've already read Mate and Deep End, one of those slots is going to be filled with The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, because that is another book that I've been wanting to read for so long. Now I can't believe that that wasn't my number 1. We're adding that, even though it's kind of 27. So there you have it. 26 books, 12 months, and hopefully a bunch of 5-star reads. If you've read any of these books, which ones do you think I should prioritize? Let me know in the comments if you're doing your own 26 reads in 2026, or if you've read any of these. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to follow me on any other social media platforms, I will have them linked down below in the description. Happy reading, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!